If I can't bend and snap in it, it's not staying. And breathe out. I have 3 of them. Let's go. Look, I can explain. It's not what it looks like. I just stick in my mouth. Consumerism, it makes me vom. Or does it? 4 years ago, I did a big wardrobe clear out and I got rid of loads of stuff. However, 4 years is a long time. And also I kind of forgot how much stuff I had stored in my parents' house. One of the really big confusions in my life that is so first world and so silly is that I feel like beside books, the 2 things that I love the most in the world, food and clothes, are in essence things that we need. I can't just go cold turkey, give them up. It's illegal to be naked and I do need to consume food. But because it's also just a joy of mine to play with them as concepts and muck around with them in the way that other people might, I don't know, what do other people do for hobbies? Collect stamps or fishing rods or spend all weekend like fixing their car engine. I sometimes don't know when to stop when it comes to snacking and also when it comes to accumulating largely inexpensive second-hand clothes. I think it's partly a scarcity mindset where I'm like, what if I get rid of all my clothes and then I have no money and I can't get any more clothes when the clothes that I have wear out? And also just like a really weird sentimental thing where I love giving clothes new homes and making sure they're looked after. I just hate seeing like really cool clothes in charity shops and thinking that they might go into landfill or go to a home where somebody's just going to chuck them in the bin when they don't like them, and I'm just like, I'll look after you, come home with me. But that's not the answer and that's not sensible. And so today we're having a big closet clear out. A lot of these clothes I haven't seen in a very long time. It's actually very telling to see how many of them I don't really remember. And I also think since having a lot of these clothes I have turned 30 and move to a different place, kind of see my life as more mobile than it was before, so I actually just can't own as many clothes as I used to. And I've been doing some wardrobe experiments, some of which you can watch up here. It's really taught me what good clothes are. Good clothes for me, good clothes that I actually wear and use. And I'd love to put a lot of these clothes back in circulation because a lot of them are really lovely and I'd like for them to be taken on more walks. They're like tiny little dogs that deserve to see more sunlight than sitting in tote bags in my parents' house. So we're gonna be brutal today, but we're also gonna be very forgiving of my past self who had a scarcity mindset and thought that her tastes were permanent. And I'm going to be giving away a lot of these clothes to the Gumption Club, who are the Patreons of this channel. They make it happen. They tip me per video, so they're free for everybody else to watch. It actually helps me get rid of them because I know that you'll take care of them. You'll show them what real love actually means. So without further ado, let's go. Here we go again. So I think first the best mode of attack is to give up. No, it's to organise each bit of clothing into a genre. We're talking shorts, trousers, dresses, just so I make sure I'm not keeping loads of one kind of item and then ridding myself of other ones. Let's try, shall we? Okay, shake it out. Now everything's sorted into piles, I'm just gonna go through it. It's stressing me out just to look at, so I guess we're just gonna dive in. If I want to set some like rules for myself at the beginning, I have to be certain I'm gonna wear it in the next few weeks. I'm not allowed to hold on to things just because it has sentimental value or I have good memories in it. I'll just take a picture, and it has to be built for my body. Like, I made this video about how to build a wardrobe I'll actually wear, and there's loads of clothes here that look really nice, but it's not just about the visuals. It has to be a good experience wearing it. It has to feel nice, otherwise what's the point, right? So from that basis, let's start with tops. Okay, we're starting with t-shirts, and I have 13 t-shirts here. I know that I also have a few behind this wall, and I also have a very confusing relationship with t-shirts because I'm actually way more comfortable in vest tops than I am the things that cut me off here. I'm a very excitable person and I like to do this a lot, so it always restricts what I'm doing and it clings under my arms, meaning that I have to wash my tops more often, which is bad for my chore list and also for the planet. So I want to make sure these t-shirts get worn by somebody, and if we're being realistic, it's not me. I'm not the person who's going to be wearing them. I have worn this t-shirt so much, and some of the reasons it wins: it's cropped, it's well cut, it has a banana on it, it's stripy. I get a lot of compliments on it when I wear it, which I think confuses our decision making when it comes to keeping something. If we get compliments, we want to keep the item that provokes focus the compliments even if we're not really that keen on it. And if somebody said to me right now, we're going on an amazing trip, you need to come, just bring your favourite clothes, the stuff you feel best in, this wouldn't be in my luggage. I can generate compliments. Compliments are not a depleting resource. I'll give myself compliments in a different t-shirt. First item, feels good. This t-shirt, again, is a perfectly good t-shirt. It's so nice. I should actually say this one is technically gifted. I got it in a advent calendar at Christmas from Freedom Street, who are a great website for like plastic free stuff. It's ethically made, it's great quality, it looks nice. Have I been wearing it? No. Will I wear it in the future? Not if I had other options. It's going, it's going. It's heartbreaking, but it's going. It's hard when you know something on paper is a good quality item, but again, it deserves to see the sun. This is a Hufflepuff t-shirt. It's a little bit washed out, but it's very cool. It's a beautiful colour, but it cuts me at a part on my arm that I just don't like how this looks on me. It doesn't spark joy, even though it is a beautiful colour. Mustard isn't a depleting resource. You will find other mustard things. Let it go. Okay, the thing about this t-shirt is I have 3 of them. And that's because they all used to be white t-shirts, but I am a 30-year-old woman who misses her mouth a lot when she eats. So I can't keep white t-shirts white, and then I just despair and panic tie-dye them. But I don't need all 3 of these. This is silly, so no. You might recognise this one as my Margaret Atwood one that I had because I worked on her book campaign, and I'm not ready to get rid of it yet, even though it's wrecked. So we're keeping that one, which means you, however incredibly comfy you are, have to go. Go. Don't think about it. Just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. This is my infamous ghost t-shirt and obviously has to stay. It smells like biscuits though. Give that a wash. This is my Teddy Roosevelt fangirl t-shirt that I was given by the What and Politics boys when I was on their podcast. Link below. I love you. But I feel like there are bigger Teddy Roosevelt fans that are going to really enjoy this t-shirt. I'm sorry. Does anybody else do this with their partners? Craig wanted to get rid of this t-shirt and I just thought it was really cool. So I wouldn't let him get rid of it and swore that I would wear it all the time. And that's why I shouldn't get rid of it, because I'll wear it. It's an Angels and Airwaves t-shirt that, reader, I never wore. But I'm also coming to terms with the fact that just because I love a thing that a piece of clothing stands for, like a band or an author, getting rid of it doesn't actually diminish my love for the thing. Angels and Airwaves still exist, and I don't have to wear them on my boobs to prove it. This has to stay because it's such a well-made t-shirt. This is my Aberystwyth Uni t-shirt. It kind of, I think it's gonna stay just because it's so well made. I've obviously had it for like 10 years, and I just, every time I put it on, I'm just flooded with joy. And because it's blue, it goes with loads and loads of bottoms and shirts and stuff. This one can stay. Although again, it needs a wash. This is really cool. This is a t-shirt I got from the Tate Britain, and it's like a t-shirt of one of my favourite paintings. This is one of the most favourite things I've ever laid eyes on. It's obviously staying. I have a mask to match because I'm very cool. This I also got from the Tate Britain, and it's so cool, and it's still in really good quality, but I've already kept some really cool t-shirts, and I think both these t-shirts serve the same kind of purpose, and if I was going to be given a choice, I'd always want to choose this one. So as long as I keep this one clean, there's no real reason for me to have this one, and I want someone to enjoy it. Here comes the sun t-shirt. Someone's gonna love you. We're just gonna take a tiny little break to talk about our ethereal sponsor, Skillshare. My favourite kind of product to flog to you because it's ethereal, in the air, doesn't really exist, and yet knowledge always exists and lasts forever. As you might have guessed from this video, if you're new, and if you've been around for a while, you'll have guessed from my whole channel, I am trying my darndest to become a better wardrobe parent. Yes, that does mean learning to say goodbye. It also means learning to say hello, yes, but it also means putting my big girl glasses on and learning to look after the stuff I already own. Skillshare has thousands of classes on essay writing, activism, poetry, freelancing, journalism, but what you might not know is that it also has some really cool courses on mending, minimalism. A class that I took recently and I wanted to tell you about is called Sewing and Upcycling, Making Your Clothes Unique Using Applique with Vida Vasquez. I really love this class because it's not just about making a specific bit of clothing better, it's also about reflecting on your own consumerist habits, a little pep talk on getting to know your own personal tastes and unique aesthetic. And she's just really thorough and doesn't really assume that you know everything about sewing, because sometimes I look up sewing tutorials and I'm like, I don't understand half the words you just said, can you go back? The course has a little project in it that's super simple, and it's all about getting that dopamine hit, not from shopping, doing, but from being creative, and I bloody loved it. Most classes are under an hour total, and this one was no exception. What I really like about Skillshare is everything comes in kind of really bite-sized, manageable, digestible chunks. So if you don't have much time, or you don't have much spiritual energy to keep that concentration going, then it doesn't mean that learning is off the cards. And there's a community of literally millions of people, so whenever you want to learn, you're never alone. Obviously these sponsored segments really support the channel, and I really appreciate you sticking around for them. So as a thank you, Skillshare are letting me offer the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description a free trial of Skillshare Premium. And if you decide to stick around after your trial, it's less than $10 a month for an annual subscription. So it's not going to break the bank, and you're definitely going to learn something. It's a gift to your present and future self that doesn't have to be shipped to you, doesn't come wrapped in plastic. You might even spruce up some of your wardrobe too. So if that does sound interesting to you, don't let me be the last to know. Don't be the last one to click that link and miss out. When they're gone, matey. Now, back to Lena trying to part with inanimate objects. What's wrong with me? Next category, tops. Different from t-shirts, but not different enough that we need this many of them. I almost just looked at the camera and said, I think I'm too old for this top and my time with it is through. But then I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, don't limit your life like that, Lena. 30 isn't the end. I actually think to justify keeping this top, because it really does, joy doesn't even cover it. Sparks happy mania. But to justify keeping it, I think I'm gonna have to make it more part of my everyday wardrobe. It can't just be for nights out or summer festivals. I reckon I can wear this as an everyday piece, and I should. More attention needed for this great piece of art. Of course, this needs to stay. This is my Beatrix Potter t-shirt you saw in my learning to sew video, and it's sacred to me, although again, needs a wash. This is a top I don't wish to own forever. I know that. I got this from Depop, and what's weird is that it's so stretchy at the top that I could grow a second head and keep it there. I've got room in each sleeve to smuggle a baguette into the cinema, but the bottom, this strip here, is so restrictive. Every time I put it on, I can barely get it over my boobs. And I'm like, why? So someone in the Gumption Club, you need to take this off me, but I suggest you are at least a 12, or you have just a slightly smaller waist than me, because there's no room for cookies here. What was I actually thinking? If the site before you isn't a great argument for the legal standardizing of the term L, I don't know what is. This is a large, according to Depop. That's okay, I didn't need the circulation in my arms anyway. And on the 8th day after God had finally warmed up, he created the perfect tank top. It goes in at the front, but it's evenly distributed at the back so I don't burn my back. It's stretchy and ribbed, but also really thick and durable, at the same time being weirdly breathable. I don't understand it, I just worship it. Does anybody's heart just sink at the sight of a basic, even though you kind of know that every now and then you do need a basic? Do I want this? Is this against everything I believe in? This top does nothing on its own. But if I have a pair of loud dungarees or a skirt that says so much that everything else needs to be on mute, then this is the top. I'm gonna keep it because I don't, how does that quote go about it being useful or beautiful? And I can't deny how useful this piece of clothing is. I think it's like strike one for this. Next clear out if I'm still feeling doubtful about it and I don't make use of it, it's gone. But undeniably in the summer, it's a great way for me to wear my colourful dungarees without having to like do some kind of strategic colour clash. Yes, you can come. Doing very well. Beautiful black top. Oh my god, really low at the back. Really cool. But a wedgie at the bottom. No, thank you. I'll wash this before I give it away. I used to wear this piece of clothing so often that I actually own two. Woo! It's a size 18. Enjoy, whoever gets that. It's really chic, but having two, no need. How exciting, progress is being made. We're on to the skirts. Internet, crotch, crotch, internet. We all know each other now, right? This is my favourite summer skirt. I got it off Sana. Her loss was my gain. I've had this for literally maybe 6 years and I wear it non-stop all summer. Ask me if I'm an optimist and I'll just silently show you this skirt. And breathe out. This will only fit me when I'm dead. Size 14 my ass. This skirt is a great example of a weird thought process I used to have when I got clothes. I enjoyed my time in the skirt and I wore it a lot, but because I thought it was really flattering on my body, whatever that means. It's elastic, so it's comfortable to sit down in. It's kind of A-line and I feel like kind of cinches me in, but this is in no way my style. It's got a delicate floral pattern, unmonetisably short on me, which isn't a bad thing, but it just requires so much more self-awareness and self-monitoring when you're on a night out than I am either capable or willing to do. But I always kept it because I used to wear it so much. I was like, why would I get rid of something that I used to wear all the time? But now I understand where I went wrong, and I really hope that somebody who likes delicate floral patterns and this kind of cut of skirt has a great time in it. But our times are over. This is a skirt my friend Jean gave me that she had and didn't want anymore, and I love it a lot and I'm gonna keep it, definitely. No questions asked, do not pass go, do not collect 200 summer points. This is the space skirt I made in this video and I really enjoy it, but I actually don't wear it that much, and I'd love to give it away to somebody who's gonna wear it more because I think it's kind of genius, but it's going in the get rid of pile. Now, I wore this during uni, so let's go. No likey, no lighty. If I can't bend and snap in it, it's not staying. Too tight. This, on the other hand, while it does like hug my belly and that makes me insecure, this is the skirt that is worth working through that mentally for. Like, you're the one, you're the one. It's my Joey's Agent aesthetic and I can't get rid of it.
Joey, it's Estelle.
And this is my Rita Skeeter skirt, and the combination of green and leather is something so unusual that I can't pass it up, and I just makes me feel like a dominant hobbit. And I won't apologise for it. I only own 2 pairs of shorts and they both make me look like a scout leader. It's something I've made peace with and you should too. 1, 2. These are more brownie culottes actually. Okay, next, jumpsuits. I think this jumpsuit shows that I am the victim of a slightly false thought. Just because something is outrageous doesn't mean it's my style. This is undoubtedly one of the coolest things I've ever owned, but it's incredibly 70s and that's not an era I have any other clothes to go with. I really like it because it's kind of skin tighty, but it's not clingy around your tummy or your boobs, which is really unusual. But I probably wear this about once a year and that's it's not enough. I want somebody to have some really good times in this. And I definitely have, but it's time to let go. Although it does make me want to dance all the time. Ditto this one. Incredibly comfy, incredibly unclingy around here, but 0% me. Basically, it's the kind of piece of clothing that if I saw it on one of my friends, I'd be like, oh my god, you look amazing, I love it, it looks so great. But skin to skin on my pins, I don't want it. I have worn this jumpsuit to death and then some. I've styled it in every way I can think of. It's made out of like t-shirt material. It's got huge pockets. You can fit like literally your whole night out in these pockets. Really stretchy waist, v-neck, essentially feels like pajamas but with an open back, so it looks like you remembered that you're actually out on a night out. And overall, I love this, but I'm not really into this t-shirt sleeve anymore. It's just not something that I prioritise in a piece of clothing. And I've got another black jumpsuit that I absolutely love, so why keep 2 when I could just put this back in circulation? Let me show you the other one and then you'll see. I just think that everybody needs one black jumpsuit in their life, and this is mine. This is my sole one. It's made out of cotton. It has this tie bit here. It's got much more open, floaty t-shirt sleeves. It just feels like it was made for my body. Not just that it fits, but like it was made for. My friend Jen gave me these dungarees because they were too big for her. They're kind of similar to Lucy and Yak, but they have way bigger pockets and they are really unfitted at the waist. So these are like my period dungarees. My Britain is experiencing a heat wave and my genetics did not prepare me for this dungarees. Just so much air flowing through. And I really like them. I should wear them more often, I think, but now it's getting hotter, maybe I can. So they're staying. So I just had a near dead 30-minute conversation with Craig about whether I should keep this jumpsuit because I feel like the fit is perfect. It comes down low enough for my thighs to stop the chub rub. The material is floaty and cotton and amazing, but for some reason I never wear it. It's coming up for summer again, and I feel like it's its last summer, it's its last chance. It needs to earn its place, it needs to show its worth. And then he reminded me that he had this in the cupboard. And I think maybe the reason I don't wear it is because I think it looks a little bit denim or a little bit, I don't know, I just feel like my personality is not baby blue vibes. So I'm wondering if this is the answer, because I don't want to let it go yet. I don't think this is the end for me and you. But something needs to change. Okay, we're back. It's 2 days later. I did dye the jumpsuit green. What do you think? I really like it. I'm so happy, and also really ready for my Tinkerbell debut. Fuck Wendy Peter, it's all about me. Wardrobe clear out aficionados will already know this, but I don't recommend trying to do it all in one day. The stuff you don't want to keep won't fit in your washing machine, and the emotional labour of it too takes a toll. Let's put it that way. But we're back, and we're going to finish off the jumpsuits, and then we're going to move on to dresses. Well, I hate to state the obvious, but this is staying. It's a Lucy and Yak jumpsuit I got second hand. I actually found someone on Facebook who was selling it. I got it like autumny last year, so it didn't really have like a whole summer out. If I don't wear it this summer, I'll get rid of it, but I really think that boiler suit vibes, very light cotton. And also I've been trained as a Greenpeace speaker, and I'm volunteering, like going into schools next year to talk about the climate crisis. And I thought, like, primary school, walk in there wearing a green jumpsuit. I just want to look friendly, you know, and fun, and like a children's entertainer. Hey kids, it's not all about recycling, it's about empowering your parents to challenge systemic corruption and save the planet. Oh no, this is gonna go very wrong, isn't it? I got this dress when I was presenting at the British Book Awards, and it's kind of felt too grand to wear to anything else since. But maybe that's in my mind. Maybe this is a like sequin top situation where I actually just need to learn to wear it to a less formal event. And while it is like quite boring, I feel really comfortable in it. It doesn't restrict me in any way, and I get to wear really big statement earrings or like do something else a bit wacky with my look when wearing it. So I think this is in purgatory. I'm gonna need to find a way to wear it to more things that aren't award ceremonies, but I do really love it and I think it should stay. Here's another like catch with getting rid of stuff, is that sometimes there's something that like doesn't justify its place completely at the time, but I can, honest to God, envisioning myself looking for something like this and having to rebuy it when the time comes. Not saying I'm going to any more award ceremonies. I wouldn't be so presumptuous. If I befriend anybody vaguely famous and then they die in the next 5 years, this would be a great funeral piece. That is how I'm justifying this little corner of my hoarding. Good. Good. Okay, I need to speak to you like this so you can't see down my top. So here's a moment of reckoning that is interesting. I bought this dress a long time ago, and as you can see, I feel like it fits me quite awkwardly. It's not too small, like it has room, and the colour is just like incredible. My magpie eyes are like, this is a masterpiece. But also, I've never worn it out. I put it on and I just don't feel comfortable in it. Is that a body positivity thing, or does this dress just not suit me? It might be a bit of both, but I feel like my energies are better spent elsewhere. So while I find it really heartbreaking, I am gonna get rid of this. I did think about trying to make it into a top that I was comfortable with, but I honestly don't think my seamstress skills are gonna be there for a few more years. Sometimes it's not you, it's me. Dress, it's not you, it's me. Yo. It's Guinevere here. Let me just show you this whole dress. Oh my god, it's divine. I actually put this dress in storage because I wasn't sure about it. I bought it from my friend Jen, she ordered it. It was a size 10 and I am a size 14. But I don't think it doesn't fit me. I just think it doesn't fit me as well as the models on the website. But I don't know why I put it in purgatory, because I actually think it's bloody lovely. I think the embarrassment is that this part of the boobs is definitely supposed to be sheared, you know? It's supposed to be gathered, and obviously on me, it's not. But I think it's about making peace with that, because this is every vibe that I've ever wanted to give off. I feel like I'm about to mount, I was about to say about to mount Richard Gere. Wouldn't that be a thought? About to mount a horse with Richard Gere in the first night. And because this isn't in style, it can never go out of style. I think this is glorious. I'm actually really glad I've rediscovered this and taken it out of storage, because why wasn't I wearing it? I'm so happy. Okay, I think this one is a really good example of not getting rid of something because it used to be a favourite. I used to wear this dress all the time. I was obsessed with it. It was actually gifted to me by Joni a long time ago. Look how magic it is. It's sick. It's got a full skirt, it's got these big sleeves, but I simply haven't worn this in over a year because I've changed size and it's too big for me now, and that's okay because I have other stuff that I choose over it now. But all those magic moments we had together, those were real. We had so many adventures, and I also really loved wearing this to London Book Fair because I was like walking around like, hey, wearing some books for our book fair, wearing some books. See, my instinct is to like just seeing it on the viewfinder, I'm like, oh, I do want to keep, no, 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 no. This was my go-to going out dress at uni. Probably one of the contributing factors being it was made out of wool, and I went to university in Wales. I also wore it when I was in an Amdram performance of Full Monty the Musical, in which I played somebody's girlfriend and somebody's mum because we didn't have enough actors and memories. Anyway, it has shoulder pads. There's still a place for it in my heart, but it is how do I say this, no longer my go-to. So please have great nights out in this dress, whoever gets it. Hi. I remember buying this dress, and then when I thought back to what I was doing with my life when I bought this dress and located it on a timeline, I realised it was 2013. When I bought this dress, I was the size I am now. I was a size 14, and I bought this as my aspirational dress. I hate this. I hate the idea that I have this. I hate that I felt like I did when I bought it. The thing I hate most is that it's 2021 and I still fucking own it. Get it off me. It is actually a really pretty dress though. So there's a Gumption Club member who's a size 10 who's gonna absolutely love this dress, but it's time for it to go. I really love this dress, but I'm prioritizing stuff that changes with my size and doesn't like restrict me too much if I put on a little bit or lose a little bit. This is an example of a dress that was designed for a straight up and down person, and then they just like copied and pasted the sizing without adjusting it for bigger bodies. So this is what happens when that happens. Oh, look, there's something over there I need to reach for. Immediately the bottom comes off. Yes, I'm a bigger person, but I can't have possibly put any of that weight on my boobs. Do you see what I mean? So while this detailing is lovely, I am too busy to babysit this dress while I wear it. It's coming off. This dress is missing a button. Just put a calendar reminder in my phone. If I don't find that button and sew it on within the next 30 days, this has to go. Or I need to do a sew job and make it into a V-neck because I love this dress. It's amazing and I don't wear it for that reason, and that needs to be sorted out because it's a great dress. Look at this material. It's like dragon skin. Incredible. It is very rare that I find a dress that's this fitted that actually fits me and feels comfortable, and it's also kind of formal. So I bought more than one, which I don't regret because actually 2 summers in a row I did 2-week business trips where I was going to incredibly formal meetings with really important people, speech writers for presidents, very serious people high up in the Chinese government kind of level. So I don't regret having all those dresses because basically I had to look formal every day for 14 days straight. But I'm not going to do that ever again, and if I do, I don't know if I want to do it in a crab dress. So because I have 2 of these, I'm going to get rid of this one. Even though I love it and even though it's amazing, I don't see the need to own more than one of this cut of dress anymore. Okay, I was actually just undressing and taking this off and honestly trying to ask myself if it sparks joy, and it doesn't anymore, and I know that I need to stop hoarding, and I think that was a very near miss, but they're both gonna have to go. I have things that I'm more excited to wear. It's not you, it's me. Oh, the hoarder urge hits so hard. Anyway, this is one of my favourite dresses ever. It's incredibly slouchy. It's kind of more of a robe, but I feel very me in it. The contrast between how I feel in this and how I feel in that helped me. Maybe it's like when you do this, you should keep on hand your favourite items and then just put them on periodically between changes so you remember what like a good piece of clothing feels like, because I feel incredible. I'm not going to try them on right now, but I have this dress, which you'll have seen in other videos of mine, and this in a very similar cut, which are both Vivienne of Holloway dresses. I got them secondhand, very cheap off Depop, and I really want other people to benefit from them. They are really incredible. It was actually this exact cut of dress I wore to my prom. All the dresses are made in London, so they're sweatshop free. They're made from like vintage cuts and they're incredible. And if you sit on Depop long enough, you can sometimes find them for like 20 quid. They have like real boning in them and they're beautiful, and it's time for you to go. We had a ride. So in my dress up box growing up, we didn't have like any like new flashy kind of like costumes. We just had like grown-up clothes that didn't fit us, and this was in my dress up box growing up as a kid. I think it was my grandma's. It kind of looks like she could have got it from like Argentina or something. That's what it looks like to me. The elastic has literally just like exited the building years ago, so I'd like to fix it, but it's really kind of incredible and cool that it fits me now. And I don't really have any other clothes from my grandparents, so it's really cool that this has lasted this long. I'm pretty sure I could find some pictures of her wearing it, but I still really love it, and it's kind of cool that they've at some point somebody made clothes that lasted 3 generations. So this is obviously a big keep from me, and I'm gonna wear this summer, I think. Doc Martens? Yeah. Right, we finished the dresses. Let's get on to shirts and jumpers. Okay, shirts and jumpers. Hello, it's me, I'm back. It's day 3 of the clear out. I don't need your judgment, I just need your support. I'm on to jumpers, and yellow jumpers in particular. I think this brings up an interesting point about how we accumulate clothes. I really like yellow, and I'm British, so I need a lot of jumpers. But do I need 2 of what is essentially the same jumper? Not really, but I think there's something in us that when we realise that there's like a combination of things that we like, we want to make sure that we've got more than one, like just in case. But that's a scarcity mindset, and I don't support it. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna give it to somebody in the Gumption Club. I think it's really, really cool. I was actually gifted this by Joni, but I already have this one and it makes me feel nicer, even though this one also makes me feel nice. But why are why is there 2? Why are there 2? There shouldn't. I didn't really realize until everything was together, and I think that's why these exercises are useful. But now I see it, I can't unsee it. Ditto white shirts. I have 2. They're different styles, but when this happens I tend to just go with a shirt that I think is more unusual. This is like a vintage shirt. It's got really nice little tiny delicate puffs, tiny delicate details, and overall very pretty. However, I am not a very delicate person, and this kind of poof is really more what I'm about. I just really love the cut of this shirt. I like the cut of your jib. I think it gives a bit of personality to what is a very basic part of anyone's wardrobe. We know that I'm not a practical fan of white, so I would consider maybe dyeing this a different colour at some point, but I'm really excited to wear it this summer, and I think it makes me like 10 times more excited than the other white shirt. So I'm going to give away the other white shirt and keep this, and all was well with the world. If you may recognise this from my Mary Poppins outfit. So that's it. That was my closet clear out. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are in the Gumption Club already, you may have benefited from me giving away some of the clothes you've seen in this video. These videos are free to watch, but they are made possible by the lovely people in the Gumption Club. So if you want to become one of my Patreon supporters and tip me as little as $1 per thing, then the link to that will be below. There are lots of times when I actually give away clothes from videos to the Gumption Club on Facebook. The Mean Girls video, like lots of those clothes went to the Gumption Club and stuff like that to keep that circular economy going. If you want some more free stuff though, I have a newsletter that you can sign up to, and you can also come along and follow me on Instagram, where I share my ongoing and ever failing attempt to live a sustainable life in this capitalist trap of a society. Frogs bug out.